What is the good word, everybody? Welcome to Technically Speaking Live, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Australia, as I always like to say, or 5 p.m. West Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, I think I have the intro down. That was really good. I got to be honest with you. That was super good compared to the last probably 2 or 3 weeks before that. It looks like it's working, and I'm pretty genuinely stunned that it looked as well, and good things and words and English language is definitely not my thing. So welcome to the show. Got a really interesting show today. Got a lot of topics. Going to talk a little bit about, I think, the coronavirus, which has affected the MWC, which is the Mobile World Congress, the biggest event for when it comes to all of the mobile phone makers. Got some kind of like breaking news information. We're going to talk about the coronavirus. It seems to be a little bit bigger of a deal than most people think about. Talk about how the essential phone is no longer. Andy Rubin is shutting things down. One step closer to AI domination, and Adobe hates me. Straight up, just hates me. But before we go ahead and get into topics, ladies and gentlemen, wait. Yep. See, still have to do it. But with this, let's see. Wait, do I have a... Nope, that's not the one. That's the one. Today I say that because we're joined by this guy.
Good evening, everybody.
Ladies and
here to help him once again.
I don't need help. I need a lot of help. I need all the help I can get. Ladies and gentlemen, if you follow my Twitter, you will know that yesterday was a special day in history. It was Statz's birthday.
Yes, it was.
40th birthday.
Not quite, but thank you for the sentiment.
56th birthday. 7. You're retired now.
I would actually be perfectly okay with that.
I have asked some folks, what is it like to be retired? And I've heard it's amazing. I also don't know why I'm holding up this can. Today's show not sponsored by Coca-Cola, but I will let you listen to the bubbles. Ready? Not a classic Coke, but a Coke Zero. How was your birthday?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Got quite surprised, thanks to you, your wife, and my parents being sneaky behind my back, setting up a little gathering at one of our favorite restaurants here in Columbus. But it was great seeing everybody. Thank you so much to everyone who came out. I don't know if any of you are actually watching this show. Oh, there's Grant Hundley checking in on the chat.
Evidently, I don't know what's going on. I can't actually see any of the chat.
Right.
You are literally going to have to tell me. I don't know why right now.
I got it.
Okay.
We got Trenton Marshall checking in with
some
sunglasses. Daniel Baldry checking in. Miss Sheila, thank you very much for showing up. And Mr. Grant, the South African. There's going to be another word there, but I'll leave it alone.
Don't.
Our brother from the other down under, Mr. Grant Hundley, checking in. So thank you very much, everyone, for
welcome
coming
to
out
the show.
last night.
Mr. Grant actually owns a wonderful company called Global Appearance Partners. I will probably be doing some type of sponsorship read. If you own your own private aviation type device,
Aircraft,
that too, you really need to make sure that stuff is clean, especially with like the coronavirus floating around. No joke. You need to make sure it's clean. Global Appearance Partners is one of those people that's going to do that. They are the best in the business when it comes to making sure that your private aircraft is fully up to date. It's they guarantee 100% coronavirus free. Not sure if that's actually a thing. Don't know if it's a thing, but Grant would be the guy to know. So Trenton, if your aircraft needs to be cleaned out, call Grant. I'll hook you guys up. You'll be fine. Grant, take care of Trenton. Trenton's got like 2 or 3 like level planes.
that's good to know.
Yeah, that's how he rolls.
We've also got Mr. Mayor himself, Nate Root, Larry Lindeen, Melissa Root, also checking in.
Oh, hello, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor also had a touch of the bug. That's what I heard. Not good at all. I am glad that you're better, but let's go ahead and get right into it. You know what? I'm leading off with Adobe hates me. And you know what? Adobe hates all Google Chromebook Pixel users. Straight up, they don't like you. They're going to let you know that they don't like you. And people wonder why Adobe gets kind of a bad rep. The reason why Adobe gets a bad rep is specifically from the fact that they listen to their customers. I evidently forgot to turn off my volume. Hold on a second. Let me actually be a professional. Adobe really bothers me because I think that they could do a better job of actually living up to the thing that they say. And I bring this up specifically when it comes to Pixelbook users or Chromebook users. The Pixelbook is a very hardware-specific device. Wait, what? Sorry. The Coke Zero gets me. The Pixelbook is a really high-end piece of hardware. It has the horsepower to do video editing, specifically with Adobe Premiere Rush. And they actually came out and said, hey, last August of 19, they came out and said, hey, we're going to have this cool thing. We really want you to check it out for Pixelbook users. Sign up for the beta today because the Chromebooks have enough of the hardware to actually be able to do video editing per Adobe Premiere Rush. Now, I happen to have this device right here in front of me. This device is a OnePlus 7T, I think. Maybe it's a OnePlus 7 something ? And Kevin the Tech Ninja sent this to me. Thank you so much for letting me borrow it. I can edit video on this. I can also edit video on a Google Pixel 3 XL, which has a little bit less hardware in terms of hardware capacity than my Pixelbook does. Yet somehow magically, I'm not allowed to use Adobe Premiere Rush to do that. I don't really understand why they do that. I get it. It's probably a small development type team. They're probably not doing a whole lot of stuff. But man, Adobe, you're getting a bad rep overall. This is it's not just Chromebook users as well. It's also how many times have we heard people who have an iPad that say they want to do photo editing on either Lightroom or Photoshop, and the iPad app itself is just kind of meh. So they need to have this mobile first mentality, but they're going mobile first with, I guess, this rather than a tablet, which seems strange, especially with the iPad thing. I don't necessarily get that. I don't really understand. But I don't know why do you hate your fans, Adobe? I pay into the Creative Cloud every single month, and I'm not really sure why. Why do you hate me, Adobe? Why do you hate me? Now, only because I can't actually see the chat at all. I have to check in with Stats. So, Stats, hit me with your best shot.
Right, so
far away.
We have Global Appearance Partners and Mr. Grant Hunley saying that he is definitely going to sign up for a sponsorship, long-term, multi-year deal.
Oh.
Also, you may have known this because you live within the gigantic household here, but Mr. E-Root...
Oh, Mr. E-Root has his own channel.
No. Well, yes. They had the baby yesterday.
No way!
On my birthday.
No! Oh, God, I'm so sorry. That's awesome. Shares a birthday with someone famous, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, yesterday
congratulations, Mr.
Well,
E-Root.
so.
That is awesome, dude. Congratulations. Yay. That's great. Awesome. That's really exciting. I don't actually know. Was it a boy or a girl? They didn't I don't believe they found out.
They just said, Melissa said, had a baby.
Oh, a baby. Oh, that is fabulous. Awesome. All right. Is that it? Any more?
That's it.
All right. We'll keep going with this. Mobile World Congress. Mobile World Congress is arguably the largest event when it comes to mobile phones, but it's always in I think Spain or something like that. But this year was in Barcelona. I think it's normally always in Spain or something like that. But it has been canceled due to the coronavirus concerns. Now, a lot of this actually came out mostly from the fact that huge companies came out and were like, yeah, I don't think so. They are planning to skip the conference. They're not sending their employees to keep them safe from the virus. It started with Amazon, LG, Sony, NVIDIA all saying, yeah, that's going to be a no for me. I'm not going to do much, or they're not going to do anything. And even Samsung came out and was like, yeah, we're going to scale it back a lot, and we're not going to do it. And so the Mobile World Congress actually came out, and they said, we're really big into like the health and wellness of the environment, and we can't do it. And so I think they made the right call. It's mostly because this virus is spreading mostly like it's the easiest thing to spread because of airports. That's just going to say like travel, coming into contact with a lot of people. Airports and airplanes specifically are just cesspools of gross. I am not a person that likes to travel. I just do not enjoy it at all. I don't enjoy being in airports. I just don't. And I've also been one of those people that don't like to wear those masks, like the mask that you see in the movie Outbreak. I just don't enjoy that at all either. God, the Coke Zero is getting me. But I think I would be a person that would totally wear a mask now, like straight up wear a mask. I know you want to say something. Go for it.
Well, no, I was just going to point out that yes, it is very communicable. It's quite a bit like the flu, and unfortunately, according to some of the leading scientific and medical minds here in the United States, the masks just provide a false sense of security because they don't actually prevent the spread.
Really?
Because you're still going to get it on your hands, or you're going to breathe it in through the mask, because those masks are only rated at most for a couple of hours at a time, and then you're supposed to swap it out.
Really?
You're still going to be shaking hands with people. You're still going to be interacting with other people. So
I didn't know that.
the best thing you can do, just like for
Stay
any other
home.
virus going around, stay home, wash your hands, limit human contact, and especially anybody who's been to mainland China in the last 28 days.
I don't think anyone listening to this channel right now has been to mainland China in the last 28 days.
Well, it's not whether or not you've been there. It's whether or not you
anyone
interact with anybody who may have been there.
I would have my druthers.
We got a lot of smart tech people. They may be talking to people you don't know.
You're absolutely right. And now I'm muted. And now you're muted again. So they made the right call, in my personal opinion, saying, hey, we're going to back this off, not do the Mobile World Congress. And oh man, so it's real bad. This coronavirus is real ungood. Now, Ars Technica is reporting that 175 people on a cruise ship, I think in Japan. Yep, a luxury cruise ship in Japan. They're quarantined to this boat. There's 175 people that have actually contracted the disease, or the virus, I guess it is, and no one's allowed off the boat. Nope. Everybody's on the boat. It's docked. I'm assuming is this what we refer to as a dry dock? Yes. No, not a dry dock. Wet. No, I'm still muted, but I'm just taking you like they're docked. They are getting food. But the thing is so the chefs are preparing all the food for the people. They are allowed 30 minutes out every day on like the deck. Other than that, they are quarantined to basically their rooms. They have to wear all this like masks and equipment before they get the food. And then they have to get the food and then take it off. It's just like this it's straight up out of Outbreak. It is the craziest thing when you're talking about like, oh man, like they get this bomb food, but then they also can't get off of a boat. So they're basically just mainlining Wi-Fi straight into their skins. And I guess they're binge watching Disney Plus. I don't know. Is that a thing? Probably. That's what I would do if I had no choice. I would just binge that. So I don't know.
Binge all the things,
you would have to. I feel like
including the booze.
Oh my! You could probably run out. I don't know why I wanted to do that. The essential phone. I feel like you're gonna say something.
Your dad just checked in.
I'm sorry.
Mark Peachy just checked in.
My dad?
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, what's up? Hey, Dad, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the show.
And it was a girl for Mr. E. Rude and his lovely
Yay!
bride.
Woohoo! Congratulations,
really
Dad.
hope-
Welcome to the show.
Really, Mr. E. Rude, I really hope the kid gets your wife's features because, damn.
Wow. Aggressive. Let's move on to the essential phone. The essential phone is actually this. And a little bit of this. That was nice. I need to get some different sounds. The essential phone is no longer. Andy Rubin made the call to shut down the essential phone. And let me go ahead and tell you, I don't feel bad for this one single second. I don't feel bad for Andy Rubin. I don't feel bad. I feel bad for the people that work at Essential, not named Andy Rubin. Everything about that, I don't feel bad about. Like, it sucks that people lost their job because they associated themselves with Andy Rubin. Here's my hot take. I don't feel bad for anything that Andy Rubin does. I don't feel bad for anything that Andy Rubin has had happen to him. He has completely had this on his own. I don't like, I'm not going to get into much of this. The idea is he has a very sketchy past. I am not an Andy Rubin fan. I did not buy the Essential phone. I will not own the Essential phone because it was made specifically by him. Now, people are going to be like, well, that's kind of hypocritical because he's the father of Android and things like that. Totally get it. When he made Android back in the day, and then the things that happened at Google happened, I don't enjoy that. But I don't look at the Pixel line now as something that he did. And Android has evolved so much from Andy Rubin, I don't necessarily associate him at all. It looks so much different now compared to when he had it and when he first made up with it. And it looks so much better. Thank God it's not actually in his hands, because nothing good can ever come from that at all. It sucks for the people that lost their jobs because they associated with Andy Rubin, but I hope he never makes another dollar. Not a single solitary other dollar. And I don't like to wish ill upon anybody. If the folks that know me, I joke around with my friends, of course, all the time because I always wish ill will stuff on them. But the idea is, like, I don't think he's a good person at all. And I don't feel bad about saying that. I just don't. And that is a super hot take, but I don't think an unpopular one. Quick live check-in with any of the comments. Nothing. Crickets?
We're good.
Wait. Yes! Nailed it. Okay. We are now one step closer to complete AI domination, but I don't actually remember why I said this. Was this the Clearview AI thing? Clearview AI. Let's do a real quick let's talk about what Clearview AI is. And according to Engadget, when London's Metropolitan Police Department announced the decision to adopt the controversial and intrusive Clearview AI, a global cacophony, what a great word, a global cacophony of protest erupted. Clearview, founded in 2017 by Richard Schwartz, the company counts, Peter Thiel and AngelList founder Naval Ravikant. Did I go? Perfect. There is actually quite simple. It's facial recognition. Its facial recognition algorithm compares the image of a person's face from a security camera footage to an existing database of potential matches. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because they can go out and get your face from publicly available places like Facebook, Twitter, Venmo, PayPal.
Driver's licenses database, passport photos, because they're selling this to police departments and national and international law enforcement agencies. So they already have pictures of yourself, sometimes unflattering, but that you have willingly given the government. So they have basically an untapped, unlimited resource to do these facial comparisons and build statistical models to maybe potentially predict criminal behavior, a la Minority Report. So,
exactly. So that's where it gets real sketchy. Is like, until the company got caught, because they were scraping these images unbeknownst to a lot of companies, until the company actually got caught, they were lifting, like I said, faces from Twitter and Facebook and Venmo and a ton of other websites. Google and YouTube made similar claims in their cease and desist letter. So Twitter sent a cease and desist letter. Google and YouTube sent a cease and desist letter because YouTube's terms of service explicitly forbids collecting data that can be used to identify a person. That's in their terms of service. Clearview was like, meh, whatever. They admitted to the fact that they were doing it. And they're like, yeah, whatever. No big deal. Look, you know it's bad when Facebook sends a cease and desist. That's when you know it's like super bad, when Facebook's like, yeah, dog, that's really bad for me too. But then they turn around and then invested $200,000 into it. Facebook's going to Facebook. Sorry. I can't get away from it. Like, this goes back to a conversation that I know that I've had on this show is folks do not understand what information you have available out there on yourself. And I know this because last week I took a whole evening, and this is just because of who I am and the way that I am. I Googled myself. If you ever Google yourself, well, you're okay though. Like yours a little bit, you should be fine. But if you have a very unique name and you Google yourself, you're going to find a bunch of stuff that you did not realize was out there. And you can take the time and remove yourself from a lot of these other sites. There's actually, if you were to Google something along the lines of maybe try this, Google, remove yourself from public websites. Try Googling that and see if it actually pulls up a Reddit post specifically that says something along the lines of, go here and delete yourself from all these places. I took a whole evening and just did that. I went through dozens and dozens and dozens of sites specifically to just try to delete information about me. And they had stuff back when I lived with like my parents. They were able to identify and come up with reasonable certainty that I lived with my mother and father, as well as my sisters when they were still in high school. Like I had just graduated high school. They were able to go like reasonable doubt this person lived with this person. And they had a ton of information on even my mom, dad, and my sisters, all under the guise of that's public information. Well, like, how did you get that? Like public records request, all this other stuff that I think is super sketchy. The idea is like if you buy a property, you can go out there, you can buy a property today, and you can get, just by the person's name, you can find out where they live, how much they bought it for, how big the home is, what it looks like, if they had any additions onto it, and their tax rate, all under the guise of public information. I have a problem with that. And that's the government. Like that's a local, like city government. I have a state. Like I have a problem with that. Like I don't know how to fix it, because it used to be one of those things like when you had a public records request way back in the day, you had to go down to like, well, I got to go down to, the clerk of courts downtown, and I got to search through all these books to try to find Joe Schmo out there. It's not that hard anymore. You can find a ton of information on somebody by just their name and Google, and that's super creepy.
Yeah, and while I agree with you on one side of the coin that having a somewhat more generic name than Scott Preacher Peach, it does allow me a little bit of obscurity, but it also would potentially make it harder for me to scrub my data, because I would have to filter through all of the other Andrew Smiths that are out there and make sure that whatever website that they were referring to wasn't me. So I'd probably have to do the work 2 or 3 times longer than you would, just to make sure I tried to catch everything.
I went like, you go searching a lot when you're like 6 pages deep on a Google search. That's how deep I went to try to make sure that I could remove the information about me where I didn't want it. And it wasn't like anything nefarious. I wanted to have the ability to control what I wanted out there. And also, it's not my, like, if for whatever reason my sisters are like, hey, I'm trying to take myself off the internet, for the kids or whatever, and your information's got me linked, can you go out and take care of it? Like, they didn't get a choice in that. They didn't get a choice in saying I'm related, or I want to be found by association with this person. They didn't get that choice. That's not fair to them. Like, that's dumb. Like,
are your sisters still on Facebook though?
I don't know. I'm not on Facebook. I don't know. I'm on Instagram. Oh, but yeah, that's closer to AI domination. This gets back to the point of all of this information is out there about you. And yes, I'm choosing to be on social media. I'm choosing to be on Instagram, put my face out there, and I'm choosing to be out there on Twitter. But like, that's the stuff that I'm choosing to put out there because of my choice. There's a lot of stuff that's out there that you don't know about. and it's not your choice. It's under the guise of that's public record. I think we need to have a very serious conversation about what does public record mean anymore. Like, people can do some really bad stuff with just your name.
Well, I think
Real
that's a lot of the intent of a subject that's very near and dear to your heart and becoming more and more dear to mine, which is GDPR and CCPA.
Yeah. Oh, fun story. Segue.
Not just a ride.
Not just a ride and not just a scooter. CCPA for the first time was had a lawsuit brought against it. Not, let me take that back. There is a company that CCPA is being utilized against, and that company is Salesforce. Salesforce had a breach that happened, and the people that are a part of it are saying, I'm trying to enact CCPA, the rights of it. You gave my information out to somebody else. It was through like bad modeling or architecture or something like, I don't remember exactly what it was, but the point is if Salesforce gets kind of caught against that, it's a big fine. Like, it's a non-nominal amount. And Salesforce is like a darling in the industry, and the whole thing that like is the crux of what they do is privacy around data. Like, it's the thing that they do, and they cannot have this. If I had to take a guess, I'll bet you they will be just fine. They'll come out kind of unscathed. It'll be a non-issue, and this is not going to be the first thing. Salesforce just happens to be the first one, but there are so many other very, very large data-related companies that CCPA is going to just house, and it's going to be awesome to see. I love it. Gonna switch gears here. Man, Samsung. Man, there was so much news about Samsung. And I could just beat this dead horse just until nothingness. Beat a horse. Like, that's funny because I fell off one. Womp, womp, womp. Wait. Ah, there we go. There we go. But I want to talk about how I think that the Motorola Razr is a total flop. Motorola Razr, it's great. They can say that they were the first ones to come out, even though that was a joke. They really probably, they were the first on a calendar. But the way that the Motorola Razr it looks like the Razr, which I got to give you a lot of credit for, but the Z from Samsung just looks so much better. So much better. If you go out to Samsung right now and you look up the Samsung Z phone or whatever, is that what it's called?
Z Flip.
Z Flip. Okay, you look up the Z Flip. It looks great. It just looks so much better compared to the Razr. I mean, it's not even close. In my opinion, the Razr, like, it makes a weird noise and it's got a gap. And like, the only thing that the Razr has going for it is that it can lay flat, like totally flat. Everything else the Z Flip has going for it. I think the Z Flip just looks better. It doesn't have the chin. It's got a better camera. The battery life is better. The screen is better. Like, everything about the Z Flip is better than a Razr. If I'm going to spend the amount of money that those devices are, I'm buying the Z Flip if I want a foldable phone. I do not want a foldable phone. I have no interest in a foldable phone. There's just too many other pieces to break. I just don't want one. But if I were to go out and buy one, I would go and buy the Z Flip, because it just, to me, it just demolishes the Razr all over the place. Everything about it is better, in my opinion. It just, even when it's sitting on a table, it just looks better. You're like, dang, that phone is sleek. What is that? Oh, that's the Z Flip. Dude, are you rocking like an old Razr from like 99 or whenever the year it came out? Like, no, that's the new one. They're like, oh, cool. That's it. It's oh, cool. Let me see it for 3 seconds. And then you're over the Razr. Whereas the Flip is different. Like, it just looks so much better. I don't want to buy a foldable phone, but it just looks so much better. And it's fun to watch how they're pushing all of the innovation that's coming out. I still really think the innovation needs to be in the battery life. For the love of God, give me a candy bar. Give me a candy bar, like an actual candy bar, because I do love candy. Like I would take a Reese's. But if you give me like a slab candy bar phone, but you tell me the battery life is like a week, what do you want? $2,000? $2,000. You're gonna tell me that like I get as good of pictures.
I really hope your wife isn't watching right now.
If you tell me I can get 2 weeks and I can take the same quality pictures as I do with an iPhone 11 Pro Max, or like a One Plus or a Pixel 4, I'll give you $2,000, $2,000, no question. If you can tell him my phone's gonna last a week, are you kidding? That's fabulous.
I mean, yeah, the longer battery life, I think, right after the computational photography that you are very passionate about.
Yeah, because I'm right.
You are. I'm not disagreeing with that. But yeah, I think the next big evolution in cell phone tech should probably be the battery life, because with everything else that they're cramming inside these mobile pieces of technology, we have to be able to use it or it becomes useless.
Yeah. A lot of people are kind of complaining about the price of the 5G Ultra with a 108 megapixel photo and 100 times zoom. Like, look, I don't need all of those features. It's cool. Thank you so much for giving me the option to do that. But I would really I'm fine with you just keeping your cameras the same for a year. If you say, look, everybody, we're going to give you we're going to make the literal exact same phone next year, but I'm dumping every ounce of engineering and resources into developing battery life that you can go a week. And people will be like, cool. I mean, there's going to be a lot of those people like, this is the thing. I actually made a comment on Twitter, like tech YouTubers, there's like 4 types of categories. You got the ones that are like, oh, great. I love the brand. I'm super excited about whatever they put out. I'm one of those people when it comes to Google. I'm very loyal to the brand. I know there's a lot of people who go like, well, if you're loyal to the brand, then the brand doesn't owe you anything. Like, look, I enjoy their product. I'm going to spend my money on the product. I get it. Some people like their Apple products. Some people like their Samsung products. I just like the Google stuff. Like, it works for me. I enjoy it. Some people are going to be like that with Samsung. The second type is going to be those folks that are very excited to see what like the innovation is. They may not be a big fan of the brand. They just might like the fact that we're innovating. And there's going to also be the third type is like, doesn't matter what happens, they're just going to hate it all. Like, you should have done another thing and not this other thing, or you should have done 1, 2, 3 other things and not these other 1, 2, 3 things of whatever they feel is the most important thing, or tell you that the phone is priced too high and you shouldn't buy it. And they start to dictate how other people should buy their own money. Like, look, no. Like, it's okay. But if you told me, like, if you told me I'm going to give you a Pixel 4 XL, same specs and all that jazz, but I'm going to make the battery life a week. Now we're talking. I will gladly take 1 year of the same specs in order to get a week of a battery life. No, like, definitely will give the same specs, because there's a lot of people who still use a Google Pixel 2 or a Google Pixel 3 XL. You are still using a Google Pixel 3 XL.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much.
By the time that a Pixel 5 will come out, you will be 2 versions behind, but it still works exactly for what you need, right?
Exactly, yes.
So the point is like, you're saying like, oh, I could go a week. I could go a week without the fact that, or a week. What? I could go one generation without, I don't know. What? I could go a week too.
You could go a week without a new phone. I don't know. That's kind of questionable.
I don't know. What was wrong with me? If I could go 1 year of the same stuff, I would do it. No question. Do I need to check the comments? I don't have any comments to check.
Actually, we've got a few little things here.
Okay, go for it.
Mr. Grant Hunley is approving of your use of the soundboard. He appreciates it.
Nice.
Daniel Baldry had to check out, but he appreciated what he was able to participate with. Mr. Banks 034 checking in.
Oh,
I know.
E-Bizzle.
Trenton Marshall says he's going to put Pokemon on the Z Flip and wander around and get his exercise.
There you go.
Mr. Andrew Hatchett would settle for a phone that lasted for 18 hours and fully recharged in 30 minutes. I think that would be an interesting use case for development of battery technology, is faster recharging.
Well, a lot of them do pretty quick recharge now. Like they have the quick charge, 45-watt chargers and things like that. So like they're getting better. That they're getting really good at. Like, but again, I go back to you give me a week. You know what? Give me 3 days. If you could give me 3 days, so that's 24, 48, 7. Is that 72?
Yes.
Thank God. Sweet Jesus. If you could give me 72 hours and I don't have to worry about charging my phone, sign me up. All right. What else we got on? Here we go. Oh, this goes out here. So the Surface Duo, this is a new one. So Microsoft has a device out there called the Surface Duo. It is let me go. It's effectively like a little book. It looks like it's amazing.
2 Fire tablets glued together.
It looks like 2 iPad minis put together. I don't think I think it's a little bit smaller than an iPad mini though. Why can't I see this? Where is my? Oh, here it is. No, it's the dude's one hand in it in the video. So if you go to thenextweb.com, you can actually see a video that shows a Surface Duo in the wild, and it looks freaking amazing. Now, this is it's what the people think is a Microsoft employee. It looks nearly identical to what Microsoft showed off in October, and the prototype appears to be showing a front-facing camera. If you go out and you were to Google Surface Duo from Microsoft, it is a dual-screen Android-powered phone. I am assuming it's a phone. Not a phone? Tablet? What are we calling it? Like, what would you call that? Because the dude's one-handing it. I don't understand what you would call that, though.
I would just say a mobile device.
It is definitely a mobile device. It's a little bit bigger than your traditional, like, iPhone 11 Pro Max. So like the big iPhone is a little bit wider than that, but then it unfolds like a book, a la the Galaxy Fold, but it is way bigger and it's got Android. It's an Android powered tablet. It looks phenomenal. And now they're saying that they're working out the kinks and it should be able to be ready to be
Purchased.
Begotten.
Sure.
Be gone, she gone. By holiday 2020. How much do you think that thing's going to cost, though? That thing will probably cost $2,000.
Yeah,
I bet it's $2,000.
I say somewhere between $1,700 and
$2,000. It's going to be $2,000.
The piece that I find most interesting is down at the bottom of the article. It says, since they are using 2 separate displays rather than a single bendable one, emphasis on multitasking and seamless transition between the 2 screens, which for anybody who has a work setup with 2 monitors or 2 laptops,
that'd be dope.
Being able to pull and drag and
Lord
minimize
have
and
mercy,
things
Lord,
side
Lord,
to side,
Lord.
It at least my productivity goes up when I have more than one screen that I can work on. So
my social productivity, YouTube, Twitter, all that.
Such a butterfly.
What?
Social butterfly.
Oh, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, I know.
You're an idiot.
You have me on your show.
And now you're muted. Now we're going to go to influencer updates. One of the last stories I want to talk about before we get out of here. It looks like the FTC is voting to review influencer marketing rules and penalties. This directly impacts me. Because I think by what I do here on YouTube, I'm considered an influencer. I think I'm going to read the article as we go through here. When companies launder advertising, is that really the word they're using? When companies launder advertising by paying an influencer to pretend that their endorsement or review is untainted by a financial relationship, this is illegal payola. That's a thing? Payola is a real thing? Huh. Now, the FTC will need to determine whether there's a new requirement of social media platforms to activate civil penalties. What? In the case of social media, that means creators need to create a post in part of quote unquote ad sponsored or paid partnership. Now, so here's the deal. A lot of times, this is just what I do on my channel. When I get a product that's sent to me, I typically say something of the effect of, big thanks to so and so for sending over the so and so. Lytra, I worked with Lytra. They are an official sponsor of the Technically Speaking live show and the Technically Speaking channel. But the thing is I reached out to them and I came up with an idea to say like, hey, no money changes hands. I would like to feature your products on my channel and also make you like the official lighting sponsor of Technically Speaking. And I came up with basically a contract that says I will do this if, you send these things over, and I approach them with that. That's just how it is. I 100% did not pay for my Lytra lights, but I'm doing 5 videos for them specifically because I said, hey, I have these ideas. I would like to feature your products in these ideas. What do you think? Went back and forth with them, and then we did that. Another one would be the soundbox speaker that I'm going to be bringing a video out in the next week or so, hopefully sooner than that. But in the next week or so, I worked with them and I was like, hey, I had this cool idea. It involves snow, a golf course, OSU, and some more. And yes, that will be in the video. We would like to basically feature your product. And they sent me the product. No money. They sent the product. But according to this, if I'm understanding it, is that people could make the argument that because I got the product for free, I have to disclose that this is an ad. But I didn't get paid. I got the product, but I didn't get paid.
Yeah, from the way I'm reading the article, I think you have covered yourself very well because you are a moderately intelligent individual, and you always state that you have gotten this product either for a review or in exchange for videos or something like that. So
no, I don't say that. I do not say that. I don't say what you just said.
On the videos?
No, I say big thanks to our friends at so-and-so for sending over the product. That's all I say.
But that's still an admission that you received something and that's why you are using that product.
Right, but I don't actually say like big, this in today's I say it's sponsored.
Right.
Like I do say that, but when I think of sponsored, like I guess what I'm getting caught up in is the financial bit. Like the financials of it. Of I don't receive money. If I receive money, I would say it. But I don't. I don't know if that means I'm a bad creator or I'm a terrible negotiator now that I've said that out loud. But the point is like a lot of times I'm like, there are those companies that are like, hey, will you do a video for my $15 headphones? I was like, it'll be $500. They're like, no. But I have had one company that would be like, yes, I'll do that. And so I said, big thanks to so-and-so company. I don't remember what it was, and it was definitely not $500. Big thanks for the company for sending over the headphones. But I do put, I guess, sponsored in the ad, like if I receive money. But that has been so few and far between. I can think of maybe 2 times that's actually worked out that way for me. I guess the point is like, I don't know. Like, are we overthinking it? It feels like we're overthinking it.
You and me overthinking it, or the FTC overthinking?
The FTC. It feels like the FTC's overthinking this.
Well, it's big government. Of course they're overthinking it.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. But like, I guess the point is they've got to do something with social media, I guess, because people are very easily influenced on social media. I get that. And they have to do something. But like if I bought my Google device and I love my Google device like a lot. Do I need to, like, if I make videos and stuff on it, do I need to, like, what do I need to do for that?
No, I don't think so, because you paid your own money. You weren't given the device for free. I think what they're really trying to get away from is people being given goods or services or money,
right,
and then not disclosing it when they make a review or they create branded content. But
isn't that assumed?
Not by everybody. I think
No,
that's what they're trying to say is that because not everyone is as well versed in social media branding tactics, they might not understand that all of these people who drink Bang Energy on Instagram don't actually drink Bang Energy except in the little videos that they post.
Look, let's be real here. Like, I guess I'm not naive to think that look, you're getting paid. Like, if all of a sudden it's all over Instagram, somebody's getting paid for that. Like, you're getting, I don't know how much, but you're getting something for that. And I totally understand is like the problem that I have with the end of this particular article, society has enough trouble with information on the internet, which I totally get. They should be able to trust that someone that says they love their new jacket didn't secretly get paid for it. Really? I guess the way that I look at it is, I don't know if I'm going to look like the jacket looks cool. I'm going to go buy, like, a perfect example of this. Oh my God, it's the perfect example of this. And I'm so angry that I'm about to admit this. God, I'm going to mute you because of this too. I want a Whoop strap. Okay? See, I had to mute him because I knew that it was going to blow out the mic. I want a Whoop strap. This is literally, I'm blowing up my entire argument. Man, I am so stupid. I'm so dumb. I'm blowing up my entire argument. I think I'm about to. So I'm about to I'm a triple stamp, a double stamp. I want a Whoop strap. A Whoop strap. I am not and I fully admit it, I am not the person that should be using a Whoop strap. A Whoop strap is like it is like a health tracker, like a Fitbit. It's better than that. No offense, Fitbit. It tracks things a little more granularity than what the Fitbit does, a little more accuracy. If you look up Whoop strap, it's WHOOP, so WHOOP. You can get it for like $30 a month for membership. People are doing it because they're trying to get physically fit, but it tracks your sleep really well. And so I made the comment to my wife earlier, like, I want a Whoop strap. She's like, why do you need a Whoop strap? You don't need a Whoop strap. And I was like, I want a Whoop strap. She's like, why do you want a Whoop strap? And I said, my favorite comedian, Bert Kreischer, talks all the time about his Whoop strap. And so now I want it. I'm literally being influenced by my favorite comedian who has a Whoop strap. He has it. And Tom Segura has it too. And now I want one because of the fact that, like, I guess that would mean that they're influencers, I suppose.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with you valuing the review and commentary from someone that you admire and follow. I think what the FTC is getting at is, did Bert or Tom buy it on their own, find they like it, and then start promoting it? Or did they get approached by Whoop and then they start promoting it?
No. They had it. Then I think what ended up happening with those two specifically is they had a Whoop strap, and then they talked about it like on a podcast, and then Whoop was like, hey guys, let's talk. Like, I think that's how it went. But then they became a sponsor of the show. And then
and again, I think as long as they make note that Whoop is a sponsor when they're talking about it, they're not going to run afoul of the FTC.
So I want a Whoop strap now. That's the takeaway from all of this is I want a Whoop strap. All right.
I would like to. We've had a lot of good commentary in there.
Oh, seriously? Oh, yeah. I can't see any of the chats.
It's okay.
Has there been any super chats that I need to talk about?
Yes, Josh Smith.
Josh!
Not only gave you a $2.99 super chat,
Woo-woo!
He also came across with the appropriate comment of Whoop. There it is.
I know, right? Whoop, I need one. Whoop, dear Whoop, I will be a Whoop influencer. I don't even own your product. I almost ordered it today. I was at work. I had like 10 minutes, and I was listening to Two Bears, One Cave, which is the podcast from Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, and they were talking about the Whoop strap, and I was like, I kind of want to order this right now. So I looked it up. It's on my like Chrome window in my work browser. Kind of want one. Still might get one. I don't know yet. It's still early. Oh, wait. That's not the one I wanted. Nah, that's not it. Nope. That works. That's what I wanted. Oh, God. All right, this show is toast. We're done. You can hit them with your socials real quick.
All right, you can find me at Helix Heinlein on the tweet machine and at Country Smith on the Instagram. I do not sing, but every once in a while I post.
Do you English?
Once in a while,
Do
I
you
post
English?
interesting pictures of food.
That's very once in a while. That's true. I am really tired. I am at Scott Peachy on the tweet machine. I am at the Scott Peachy on Instagram. And I sing almost daily. It's just overwhelming. I think I sang here earlier. She's a rich girl, and you don't know how I'm gonna do nothing let her anyway. I'm gonna learn to... Nope, still don't know the words. Take me home, country road, to a place I belong in West Virginia. Nope, I had you muted. You just, I'm Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road. All right, that's all I got. I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna go to sleep. I gotta edit a video. Edit a video. So stupid. Let me to play us out. What does that even mean, to play us out? We'll do it live. We'll do it live. And here's a new cut off the Bruce Springsteen. Sorry. All right, I'm out. I'm out of here. Let me just get to OBS for the love of God.